What happened? What happened in Wisconsin? Remember, Wisconsin was going to be the death of us all. Boy, Twitter on April 7th of this year might have set a record for virtue signaling per capita en masse. And that's saying something, because that's essentially all that Twitter is. Because Wisconsin, under a judge's orders, was not permitted to push back its election to when supposedly it was going to be safer to go out and stop hiding from the SARS-2 coronavirus. So it held its primary as scheduled on April the 7th. What have we learned since it did so? Let's find out together. On April 7th, Wisconsin held its controversial primary election. Because of concerns about the SARS-2 coronavirus, 70% of Wisconsinites voted by mail, which is believed to be one of the highest percentages in American history. However, that still means 465,786 people went out and voted in person in Wisconsin on April 7th. That's twice as many people as live in Madison, which is Wisconsin's second largest city. Given the restrictions in place on the American people, that is likely the largest outpouring of Americans anywhere and in any state in this country in the last 6 weeks. Today marks 15 days since the Wisconsin primary election. The SARS-2 coronavirus has a 14-day incubation period. Therefore, this is the time now to see if Wisconsin created a massive public health disaster by permitting 465,786 people to come out and vote back on April the 7th. Let's first isolate Dane County, which is home to Madison. That's the state's second largest city and a major university town. This is also, given the liberal politics of the community, where you'd expect to see a higher voter turnout in a contested Democratic Party primary, especially with Bernie Sanders, favorite of college kids, on the ballot. Here's a chart of Dane County. The red line is active cases. The blue line is the new cases. Since Wisconsin held its primary on April the 7th, you can see that the blue line for new cases has been steadily decreasing. Furthermore, since Wisconsin held its primary on April 7th, the trend line of new cases has been consistently well below the trend line of existing cases at the exact same time. And new cases since April 7th have also been decreasing at a more rapid rate. Now let's look next at three of Wisconsin's most populous counties, and let's put them together. That's Dane, Brown, and Milwaukee counties. Now recall, this is a chart of hospitalizations in those counties. Recall that hospitalizations, or overburdening the healthcare system, the hospital system, that was the primary and original rationale given for shutting the country down. That this was the curve we had to flatten, not to overwhelm our medical system and cause needless death because the system couldn't handle what it was already confronting, right? That's what we were originally told.
Correct.
Since Wisconsin held its primary election on April 7th, as you can see, there has been no spike in hospitalizations in Brown County, which is in blue. That's a population of 250,000 people. 250,000 people live in Brown County.
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yep, go Pack. Neither has there been one in Dane County in red, where your Badgers play.
Correct.
500,000 people live in this county, 500,000. So that begs this question. How is it possible holding its election in such densely populated areas did not create a spike in hospitalizations in those two densely populated Wisconsin counties? How do you explain that? Well, let's go back to the graphic. Let's look at Milwaukee County. That's the one at the top. That's the one in gray. It has been the hardest hit part of the state of Wisconsin. However, except for right around April 9th, you will see that there has not been a spike of hospitalizations in Wisconsin's most populous county since the April 7th primary election. Now, why April 9th? What happened on April 9th? April 9th was the date one of the largest hospitals in Milwaukee updated its public reporting after a week of lag time, meaning this was data that was dumped in and added to their count that predated Wisconsin's April 7th primary election. And even that spike only added about, when you do the math, only added about 100 more hospitalizations in Milwaukee County. And then you can see that after that reporting spike, those also began to level off during the virus's incubation period and never repeated itself that same spike again the rest of those 14 days. In addition, the hospital trend line for Milwaukee County since that let me try that again. In addition, the hospitalization trend line for Milwaukee County shows that since April 15th, right when the worst of that 14-day incubation period, we should be hitting it right about then, a full week in. Since April 15th, only a week after Wisconsin's April 7th primary election, hospitalizations have been in decline. Milwaukee County has a population of 945,000 people. How is it possible the most densely populated county in the state did not suffer a massive public health crisis following such a high turnout event like Wisconsin's April 7th primary election? Well, one potential answer could be the weather. The high temperature in Milwaukee that day, April 7th, that's the largest city in Milwaukee County. The high temperature that day, according to AccuWeather, was 79 degrees. AccuWeather says that is 30 degrees warmer, almost 30 degrees because it's 50, almost 30 degrees warmer than the average temperature for that date in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. What about Green Bay? That's the largest city in Brown County we already looked at. AccuWeather says the high temperature in Green Bay, Wisconsin that day was 62 degrees, which is 12 degrees higher than the average temperature for that date in a given year, according to AccuWeather. Finally, let's go to Dane County. Madison is the largest city in that county. The high temperature that day, according to AccuWeather, 75 degrees. That's 25 degrees higher than the average temperature for that date in Madison, Wisconsin, according to AccuWeather. Could it be the reason Wisconsin did not see a public health crisis after permitting 465,786 people to leave their homes to vote is because these people went outside in the warmth and sun? And the data shows, we have given you how many data point examples in the last month and a half shows SARS viruses do not respond well in those environments, but instead prefer indoor, climate-controlled habitats that they can infect for longer periods of time. At the very least, the data shows us Wisconsin did not worsen its battle with SARS-2 coronavirus by allowing 465,786 people out of their homes on April 7th to vote. And I keep repeating that number because I want to drive that home. That's a massive amount of people compared to how many were probably out and about in Wisconsin on April 6th and then again on April 8th. That is likely the largest outpouring of Americans since the lockdowns began. And that outpouring did not increase the public health threat Wisconsin faced from SARS-2 coronavirus, which should prompt us, again, I keep saying this, because every time we get more data, the same conclusion still applies. We should reevaluate our approach and end the lockdowns.